Hi and welcome back to our full house renovation here in Yorkshire in the UK. If you missed last week's video, you might want to go back and watch it because it was a belter. Because the whole rear roof, which dates back to the 1960s by the way, was completely stripped off and replaced. And if that wasn't enough, the final beam was installed, and it was a biggie. And this is where it was installed. And by installing that beam, it allowed the whole back wall of the house to be knocked down, which opened up the kitchen and diner to the rest of the rear extension to create this huge dining kitchen area at the back of the house. And let's not forget, because it was a whole load of work, but the old suspended timber floor for the dining and the kitchen area was ripped out entirely. And that's to make way for solid floors and underfloor heating that's going to come along later on in the build. So if you missed all that, I'll put a link down in the video description so you can catch up. So let's talk about what's coming up this week in our home renovation. So this week the builders are doing a whole load of work in the knocked through areas and also all of the area of the rear extension in preparation for concrete to be poured early next week. So that means that all of this rubble that you can see here in the garage area needs to be smashed up and leveled. And there's a whole load more in what's going to be the dining room and kitchen that they need to do the same to. Once they've done that, hardcore is going to be added, and that's going to be compacted down in multiple layers. And the drains that were installed a few weeks ago, they're going to be extended into the utility room and also into the new kitchen. And the roofers have some finishing off to do at the back of the house, but then they'll turn their attention to the front here. And similarly to last week, all of this roof needs to be stripped and replaced. So as you can see, there's a lot going on this week as well, so we better get to it.
So this week the builders are going to be mainly preparing the rear extension area ready for concrete pouring. So they're starting off by spreading out all of this rubble. It's not very glamorous work, but it's important, and actually it's reasonably accurate because they're still working to a laser level, and also there's compacting required as well. I've literally compressed a full day of work just into a few seconds for you here. Meanwhile, up on the scaffolding, this flat roof, which is the window for our master bedroom, is about to get a GRP roof. And the roofers are starting out by putting another layer of ply to reinforce it and make it stronger. So while Norbert is busy with the GRP flat roof, Dean's doing a bit of work in the same area, but this time on the lead work. And it's really interesting seeing Dean crafting the lead work. And also he does a bit of lead welding, which I didn't know was a thing, but that's coming up soon as well. So it was really interesting seeing Dean doing this lead work, and what I didn't realise is when you have seams on lead you can actually weld them up, but all of this lead work looks really tidy, so that'll keep the water out great. So these are the last few roof tiles being fitted to the back of the house, and as you can see some of them had to be cut to size in order to fit around the chimney. But there's still quite a bit of finishing off to do. For example, the mortar needs to be applied all the way up this edge of the tiles to tidy it up and keep it waterproof. And then once that's done, then there's some more lead work to be done all around the chimney to make sure that's waterproof as well. And now looking again, now that it's all pointed up, and you can see that it's looking super tidy, all the way up there towards the chimney,
And then when we get to the chimney, then that's the lead work that Dean was working on. And that's looking good too. And that's going to be a lot better for us because we did have some leaking in around the chimney coming into the loft.
Checking back in with the builders, they've had to pause their levelling and infilling of the extension area because they want to patch into this drain here and tee into it and then go through the wall into the utility area, because we're going to have a sink about here in the utility area. And these drain pipes need to be in place before they can finish putting all the bricks in hardcore and levelling out this area. So Finn's just got a little bit more digging out to do, and then they're going to patch into that pipe and then they're going to run it through the wall. And the same work's required to bury the waste pipe and prepare the ground in the utility room. This is time consuming but very important work, but I'll show it quickly because you've just seen something similar in the main rear extension area. Now we're turning our attention to the garage extension flooring, and the floor is a little bit different in here because it's going to be used differently. So what we've just been discussing is you can see these blue lines on the floor. There's already going to be like a mesh reinforced concrete on the whole floor, but in these areas there's going to be like a strip of extra deep reinforced concrete, and this is for a 2-post lift. But for now we still need to do some infilling, so these old roof tiles are coming in handy to prepare the very base layer and compact it down before we even thinking about concrete and steel mesh.
It was my dad's.
Well, here's your dad's, like a family heirloom.
It is a family heirloom. I can remember when he got it, brand spanking new. She must be 30-year-old.
So the plug needed a quick repair, and then she was ready to go. And she's still got it. They just don't make them like they used to. Do you agree? I mean, these days, can you imagine a modern tool lasting 30 years?
So when we were looking at what kind of roof tiles to have fitted to this roof, really what we were looking for was a modern roof tile that's suitable for a stone house. And we came up with this one. It's called Forticrete SL8. Obviously a play on words for the word slate. And in fact, they offer it in red and brown, but of course this one's slate grey. This is just a reminder of what the roof was looking like at the back, and it's still to be done. As you can see, it's looking pretty shabby,
But the guys are getting started on it now, and the first job is to strip the old tiles off of the roof. Lee's given me a hand by getting this flue liner out. We should have had the chimney swept before we fitted our new gas fire, but we didn't. So the flue liner has to come out, then the chimney sweep's coming in, then the flue liner back in again. So, you live and learn. And the front right hand side of the roof gets the same treatment, so there's new felt and new lats going on, and it's a lot of hard work, so I feel bad skipping along, but you've seen most of it already, so I'm going to move it forward for you just a little bit.
Just that little bit left there. 4 ton of concrete's come out so far.
And that bit next to it needs to come out as well.
Just here on the left.
And then that left, it's all been smashed up already.
Yeah, so that's ready to scoop out.
The lock on this old garage door has failed, so Lee's just cutting it around so that then a swift kick will hopefully get this door open, because that needs to come out as part of this works too.
That'll do it.
So this is the final bit of prep for the garage floor prior to concrete being poured next week. So we've just got this rubble to get out here, and then once that's out it can be compacted down, some hardcore added to it, and then that's it, they're ready to go.
So as of right now, the channel's got 125 subscribers, which is just incredible because we've only been going a few months and we never thought that we'd attract subscribers like this. So if you're one of those 125 people, we just like to say thank you so much because it's really making our day. But if you're not already one of our subscribers, then please consider subscribing. We've got lots more great content coming out to you, and we bring out a video every week, usually at the weekend on the Saturday or the Sunday, depending on how flat out busy we've been with this job. That's it for now. See you next week. Bye.